When have I ever just been like, yeah, I'm just hanging out with this guy, like just me and him? When? Name a time. I can name multiple times that Parker's done that.
Oh my gosh, people are gonna hate me. Pull out your Instagram Explore page right now.
What, you think it's gonna be filled with a bunch of like boys in the gym?
If it is, then I know that you're cheating on me. Guys, get an up close shot on this because this is just the absolute truth. 3,
2,
1. Welcome back to the Dating Diner. I'm your host, Parker Panel.
I'm Sarah Coomer.
My amazing girlfriend, long distance girlfriend.
Not anymore.
Not anymore. You're right. We are officially living in Los Angeles together.
But we were long distance for 2.5 years.
2.5 years. And that's what we're going to dedicate this episode to, is for all y'all out there who are doing long distance. Mm-hmm. We know it's hard. Yes.
Hot take, I don't think long distance works.
What? Why?
Well, I mean, not always. I think it can work, but I think the circumstances have to be right.
Well, please elaborate for the people of the Dating Diner.
Well, I think we'll get into it, but I want to play a game first.
All right. Well, what game should we play, Sarah?
Well, on the subject of long distance, trusting each other, not being together, we're going to play a game called Is It Cheating?
Is it cheating? Videographer, can you please add a jingle? Please.
No, I think you should leave it just like that.
No, it's they have to do a jingle.
Do it again. Is it cheating?
There should be things on the screen right now, just like
sparkles. Yeah,
sparkles. Okay. Anyways, we're gonna play Is It Cheating because we be listening to people talking throughout the day.
We be listening to people.
It's true, and they'll be saying stuff that they're doing like without their girlfriend knowing, and we're like, whoa, do you realize that you're cheating on your girl?
Some people don't realize it.
I know.
I think people have different definitions of cheating, though, which is why this game works.
Exactly. So we bought these amazing buzzers. Here we go. We got a green one and a red one. Sorry in advance.
This one means cheating. This one means that's cheating.
Wait, really? Because I kind of thought this meant it was cheating.
No, that's not the sound you hear when someone cheats. Is da-da-da.
Oh, you're saying it's like not cheating, in the clear.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
You're in the clear or you're not in the clear.
Gotcha. Sorry in advance because these buzzers are really loud.
Yeah.
Maybe we should turn them off?
No.
Okay, we're going to leave them
they're not right
on.
next to the microphone.
You're right. We'll leave them right there.
First question,
right after my sip of a milkshake.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Liking the other gender's photo on Instagram.
Not cheating.
I agree.
Oh, good.
I don't think that's cheating.
Good. Amazing.
Depending, though.
Okay, what's it depend upon?
Well, okay. We'll get there.
Okay.
Following Instagram models.
Not cheating.
That's cheating.
How is that cheating?
Like, if you don't know them.
You just said that liking another gender's post is not cheating,
right.
So following them shouldn't be cheating.
That's not what I said. I said following Instagram models.
All right. I still don't think it's cheating.
You're not understanding.
I understand.
No, you're not. Because liking the other gender's post, I could like your friend's post. I could like my friend's post. And like, that's not a big deal. Instagram models are like people you don't know that are just like posting like provocative photos on Instagram.
I get what you're saying, but in a world like LA, I've met plenty of Instagram models.
Not my point.
Well, okay, I understand it's not your point, but the reason why I'm kind of doubling down on this is because there has been times, and you know there's been times where I've been following a girl, and the girl, I don't think they're attractive, but the girl has attractive features, and you're like, unfollow her. How do you know her? Even if you know her or not, right?
Yes.
So
because you shouldn't be following people who are just explicitly posting provocative photos if like you don't have a personal connection to them.
And I get what you're saying. Yes, if you don't have a personal connection, but let's say you did have a personal connection, like some people that I do. Not cheating.
Okay, if you don't know them.
Then cheating. Okay, what's next?
Having a Snapchat streak with the other gender.
Not cheating. That's not cheating. Please tell me how.
Because we're in our 20s. Why are you having a Snapchat streak?
Listen.
If you're not just like trying to talk on a daily basis.
Listen. the other day, I got caught. I was Snapchatting another girl.
There also, okay, there should be another buzzer. There should be a yellow buzzer. There should be it's not cheating, but you shouldn't do that buzzer.
That is fair, but you just cut me off right after I said something that people all probably all went. Because I was Snapchatting another girl, but not because I was cheating. I have a friend that I work with. She just recently left the company, but great friend. She's a little bit older than me, and we just Snapchat. We had a 100-day streak on Snapchat.
No.
Sarah thought
and
it was...
And who else do you have a streak with? Name every other person that you have a streak with.
Just you.
Nobody else. So me and this other girl.
Yes, but you have to understand, you are nothing like this other
It's not
girl.
about
You are
being
younger than her. You are my girlfriend. She is simply a coworker.
Again, but my point is, you only have 2 streaks. Like, it's not like you're just like snapping everybody. You're intentionally only snapping me and her.
I know. The problem is, in all the girls behind the camera right now are probably all losing their marbles right now. They're like, Sarah, you need to drop that man. The problem is, I have never looked at this girl that way. Like, literally, that's never
why
been...
I'm saying it's not cheating. Like, I don't think you were cheating on me, but
Right.
you shouldn't do that.
In hindsight, yes, I should not have been Snapchatting her. But I really want to make sure the record is set straight. I've never liked this girl. I've never wanted anything to do with this girl. We've just been friends.
Speaking of being friends with your ex. There's a difference between being on good terms and being friends.
Being friends with your ex, geez, this is hard. And the reason why is because you can be friends with them and not want anything to do with them as long as you know about it. The significant other should always know if you are friends. It's cheating.
Thank you.
It's cheating. Yes, if you're very good friends with them, very good friends, that's weird.
There is a difference between being on good terms and being friends, though. Like, I think you can be on good terms with your ex and be, like, cool with each other, but you guys shouldn't be, like, hanging out.
Right, I know. Man, I already hate this episode because people are going to hear all these different red flags that I have, and I can just think about it from a girl's perspective. Like, I swear, I treat this girl with amazing love and respect, but I'm trying to be nice to everyone. You know, I have friends.
You have friends.
I have friends.
Okay, we're going to do one more question.
I'll ask the next one. Being friends with the other gender. Not cheating.
Not cheating.
Nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong.
As long as you're not too close of friends.
Right. Agree.
Simple.
But I think you should absolutely be able to be friends with the other gender.
Yeah. I agree. All right. Last one, final one. If you guys agree with us, let us know down below in the comment section. Hanging out with other... How did you write it? Did you go to school? Hanging out with other gender friend one-on-one.
So hanging out with a friend who is the other gender, just one-on-one. Like, you're not in a group of people. It's just you two.
Wait, this means not cheating?
This means cheating.
Not cheating. Not cheating. Please tell me why.
Because name one time in our entire relationship where I've been like, Parker, I'm going to lunch with Zach.
I don't know who Zach is, but I already want to destroy him.
That's my point. When have I ever just been like, yeah, I'm just hanging out with this guy, like just me and him? When? Name a time.
Never.
I can name multiple times that Parker's done that.
Oh my gosh, people are going to hate me. Again, I have... Oh my gosh, this is looking so bad on my part. Okay, name the times. Name the times.
You had a girl come and stay with you in your apartment for multiple nights while we were dating, and I was 3,000 miles away.
That is true.
I think the game is over.
You see, that is true. Well, we should talk about that because I feel like there's a little bit of like the room's getting stuffy right now, and I want to make sure that people here understand what is going on. Okay. So that is true. I did let a girl do that. The thing is, as we are going to be talking about long distance in this episode, we were long distance during that time. And the number one thing that long distance relies on is trust. Now, even if you have trust, you don't want to be taken advantage of in a relationship.
I will say Parker asked me permission. He called me and he said, my friend wants to come stay. Like, Parker lives in LA, so like people will want to come visit. He said, my friend wants to come stay. Would it be okay with you? You can say no. And I said, I trust you and I don't mind. She can come stay.
And that's why it happened twice. Now, you have to remember, this was a friend that I've had way before I met Sarah. I've known her for almost 3 years now, and we've had such an incredible relationship. I've also known this girl she was one of my first friends that I've had in social media as a whole for like 6 years or 7 years. And I told Sarah, I told her everything. I said, hey, she's going to come here. She's going to stay because she's coming out here doing a little bit of modeling work. I forget what she was out here for, making videos. And I didn't even hang out with her all the time. Sometimes we did in a group setting. Sometimes we made some videos together, whatever that situation was. And looking back on it, I have since told my friend, I've said, listen, it's no problem with us, and my girlfriend absolutely still loves you. But for the sake of my own relationship and wanting to still maintain good, solid trust with my girlfriend, it's probably best that we don't stay together anymore. And she obviously respected that, and she never had a problem with that because I was just trying to be a good friend. I had an extra bedroom in my apartment. I said, why not? We were not sleeping in the same room. She was in the extra bedroom, and we kind of minded our own business. So that's clearing the air a little bit.
But you did let her like wear your sweatshirt.
This is making me look so bad. Everything I just said still remains true. Everything she just said also is true. I let her wear my sweatshirt, but let me tell you the story behind that. I was hanging out with another friend, and it was cold outside. It was simply cold. It was a cold day. It was not, she was trying to wear my sweatshirt because she was trying to make you jealous. No, you guys are friends. It was just a cold day, and she said, hey, do you have a sweatshirt that I can borrow? We were here in my apartment. It wasn't like an on-the-fly thing. We were in my apartment. She said, do you have a sweatshirt? I said, sure. Here you go.
But you also have to remember, at this time, this was like within the first few months that we were dating. I hadn't even come to visit Parker yet in LA. Like, literally, I had never been to LA in my life before. So I'm like 3,000 miles away at home, and you guys are posting TikToks, and I just like see her in a sweatshirt that you were wearing like the day before, and I'm like, what is this? Why is she wearing his sweatshirt? What are we doing?
Looking back on it, it makes me look very, very bad. So that's the sweatshirt situation. I was not trying to do anything against Sarah or make Sarah jealous. I really wasn't trying to do that. I was just trying to be a good friend. And sometimes I make that mistake because I don't have a good balance between what is a good friend and then what is somebody who is trying to implement something bad into your relationship. In hindsight, there's so many things that I've done that I'm like, what was I thinking? What was I thinking? And now we've been dating for 2.5 years, and Sarah has been unbelievally patient, and I really, really appreciate that.
I have done things too.
And Lord knows I've been way more patient than she has. I mean, this is just, I'm kidding. But she's been very patient, and I've learned, and I've said I'm sorry, and I've apologized. But at the end of the day, very important to set the record straight. I've never done anything to actually harm our relationship. I've done things that have been deemed questionable, but I've always been apologetic, and I've tried to grow and learn since then.
That is true.
Anyways,
but that's where trust comes in long distance, because I don't think long distance can work for everyone.
Right, and I agree.
I think there's certain factors that you have to have in order for long distance to work. Number one, I think it was really helpful that you and I are from the same place. Parker and I are both from Kentucky, and I think that having the same like home is almost crucial, because I don't know really how we would have like connected in the way that we did if we weren't from the same place. And like when we go home to see our families, like we can hang out with each other's families because we're in the same place. Like if you were from Connecticut and I was from Montana, it's like, how do we connect? Like,
right. That makes a really big difference. I agree. Okay, but what else?
I think trust. A lot of relationships lack trust, even in just like simple things like going out like to the bar. If like you see your boyfriend like talking to a girl, some people just automatically assume like he's cheating. Why is he talking to a girl? But like in a trusting relationship, you would be like, oh, that's somebody he knows. That's a friend of his. And I think that is multiplied by a million when you're long distance and you're nowhere near each other. You're thousands of miles apart. You have to trust that you're not going to be there and look at your boyfriend and see every single thing that he's doing. So you have to trust and know that he's not doing anything sketchy behind your back.
Okay, yeah, I agree. And another big thing that I'll say is communication.
Yeah.
That's really important. Talking every single day. And I was just talking to a friend on the phone literally 2 days ago, and they said, how do you guys do long distance? And I said, the number one key is literally telling your significant other every single thing that you're doing, whether you're going to the grocery store, whether you're going bowling, whatever that consists of, tell them.
And some people don't like that. Some people don't like to like tell somebody their every move, like because they feel like it's like a parent. Long distance wouldn't work for you. I'm so sorry. But if you don't like to like keep somebody updated on every single thing you're doing, long distance isn't for you, because you got to be able to communicate.
I 100% agree. Tell them everything. Last but not least, do little things for your partner. And if you guys aren't going to see each other for 6 months or however long that is because of whatever reason, send them flowers, send them a little gift.
Parker does do that. Well, he did. He still does. But when we were long distance, like I would go to a modeling job and he would like send flowers to my hotel or like things like that. And it was really sweet.
Yeah, it's little things like that. I mean, don't be afraid to be cringy or corny, because I feel like I kind of was at certain times. But do the little things. Also, if you can surprise them, give them a surprise. I mean, Sarah and I kind of have countless of different surprises. We'll go ahead and actually pull those up on screen right now for all of you who have not seen our surprises.
2, 3, smile. Okay, these are great. I love the dresses. Okay, and scoot over just a little bit, Sarah. Scoot over a little bit. Okay. Oh my God! Happy birthday to you.
What'd you wish for?
Oh my God. Out of our surprises, what's your favorite one?
The birthday.
Birthday. I mean, that got
maybe prom.
Yeah, prom surprise was solid.
One of those two.
That was a good surprise. I feel like one of my favorites was the FaceTime outside of the house surprise.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Legendary.
Yeah, that
Legendary.
was a really good one.
And we were not at her house. That was actually a friend's house. Mega mansion. Pretty sick.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty cool.
I think another big part, not just about long distance, but just like relationships in general, is forgiveness. Because the thing is, like, no relationship is perfect. Every single person, especially at our age, like, we're learning, we're growing. Like, this is both of our first like serious relationships, and we can't expect each other to do it perfectly. And so like, even though Parker's messed up a couple times, like
Sarah's messed up a couple times.
I've messed up a couple times too.
I mean, more than a couple. I mean, one, two, I mean, yeah, you've messed up.
I've messed up. And you've messed up more times than I can count. but truthfully though, you have like a big part of relationships is just forgiveness, because if I just hold everything against you, like, we're never gonna work anything out ever. But neither of us are gonna do it right the first time. So.
I know a lot of relationships have grudges. Don't hold grudges. Try to forgive, and that will really help you in the long run.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, moving on. Yeah, long distance is a challenge. There's no denying that, but it's absolutely worth it, and there's so much growth that can come out of it. And your relationship, in my opinion, is going to be so much stronger after you accomplish long distance, which
That's
is
true.
Kind of the scenario that we're in right now.
I also think, as we're moving into this, the final thing I'd like to say about making long distance work is I think you have to have some sort of plan. Some sort of end in sight. Because if you're just together and you have no earthly clue about when it's going to end or how you're ever going to be together, what's the point?
Yeah, there is no point. Sarah made a really big sacrifice, and she said that she would move to LA. As I obviously have been living in LA since I was 14. She lived in Miami. She lived in London. She moved around a lot, and there just isn't as much opportunity in Miami as there is in Los Angeles. And it was really kind of her to actually make that decision, because truthfully, I don't know where we would be right now if you didn't move to LA.
Still long distance.
Well, yeah, but I wouldn't have moved to Miami, at least anytime soon.
I know. That's what I'm saying. We would still be long distance.
I know. I'm very grateful that she made that move. I'm very, very thankful.
But moving from Florida to here, we're trying to figure out what the next step in our relationship was, because we're moving from 3,000 miles apart to together,
right?
Which is the first time in our relationship after 2.5 years. So we were like, do we move in together? Do we like live separately?
See, Sarah and I have been butting heads a lot recently about just this topic. I have always kind of thought that we are young. I'm only 21. She's 20 years old. I think what's best is that we should take it step by step. And instead of her moving to LA, even after we've been together for 2.5 years, and moving in with me, she should get her own apartment.
And I don't actually necessarily disagree, which is why I got my own apartment. I have my own place. So obviously I didn't completely disagree. But I'm just kind of like a lover girl, and I just love love. And I'm like, I just want to get married and live together and be your wife. And so, well, of course, I wanted to be with you. But obviously, I did agree, because I did end up getting my own apartment.
You did.
And that's because even though I do want to live with you and I do want to be with you all the time, and we still spend most of our time together, living together with somebody is hard. And I know that firsthand.
Why do you know that? Why? Please.
Did I tell you about my roommate horror story?
No, let's hear it.
Oh my gosh. I had a roommate from the pits of down under.
I've never heard somebody describe something like that. That's bad.
She was horrible, and which is why I think you have to be careful when you just jump the gun and move in with somebody, because I went to college and I made friends with a girl, and we were only friends for like a month or two before we were both living in the dorms. We kind of wanted to move into an apartment. The dorms were kind of gross and crappy, and she had bad roommates, and we were like, you know what? We've made a friendship. We're going to have to figure out where we're going to live next year soon anyways. Let's just get an apartment together. So we did. We found 2 other roommates who were lovely and amazing, and the 4 of us got an apartment together. And as soon as we moved in together, things went south. Bad.
Okay, you were waiting for like a dramatic pause.
Yes.
Dun, dun, dun. I was like listening.
I was waiting for you to give me some sort of like response.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, have you guys seen those videos recently about how like trying to gossip with a man, and the man's like,
yeah, he doesn't care.
Okay.
Anyways, as soon as we moved in together, this girl started to like pin me and the other roommates against each other, and she was going around to each girl like talking crap behind each other's backs, and we were all like friends, so we were all everything was getting back to each person. And eventually we confronted her about it, and we were like, we all live together, we don't want to live like in drama. Why are you going around like starting little fires everywhere? And she was like, I'm so sorry. Like, I was just trying to create teams. She was trying to create teams within the apartment, and that her and one of the girls were on a team, and me and one of the girls was on a team, and we were like against each other. And we were like, why are you doing that? And she was like, well, that's just what girls do. Like, they just talk bad about each other. And we were like, no, that's not just what girls do. What are you talking about? And then she started going around all the roommates talking bad about you.
Oh.
Talking bad about you, saying
Is this the roommate that I paid for her lunch?
Yes.
Wild behavior.
You paid for her
I need to
lunch.
go in there and say that it was like credit card fraud.
You met her one time, bought her lunch, and the second you left, she started going around to all my roommates saying that you were emotionally unavailable, that you were immature, all this stuff. And I said, and that I needed to break up with you.
That's insane.
And I was like, you met him one time and he bought you lunch.
That's insane, man. I should have never bought her lunch.
Then she started asking me, she knew that I was, like my job was social media. She knew that I was making money from social media. So she starts asking me to pay for her Shein orders, to pay for like her food. It was crazy. It was insane. I was like, I'm not going to pay for your stuff. She was throwing this little Galentine's Day party that I was not able to go to. I had a modeling job that day. I was not going to be there. And she was like, can you pay for all these decorations for the party? And I was like, no.
You said no to her?
Yes, I said no. And she was like, why? And then she went to the other roommates and she said, I know Sarah's making money, but she won't pay for my Shein order.
That's unreal.
There was so much more. Like, there was so much more that I could tell. But, like, you just got, I bought a couch, okay? I bought a used couch. And she said that one of the other roommates was too rich to sit on that couch because she came from a wealthy family. And she told that girl that she was too rich to sit on that couch. Turns out that girl never said that. It was the roommate just making that up, and because she didn't want a used couch. So she made the other roommate buy a $6,000 couch so she had a new couch to sit on.
Unreal.
I could literally tell stories for hours, but all I'll say is living with somebody's hard, and you don't really know a person until you are with them in close quarters for a long time. Like you really get to know a person when you live with them. So I think it was good for us to, take it step by step, and we spend a lot of time together. So I feel like we are in close quarters and we're learning how each other lives without actually fully committing to living with each other.
Right, I know all about how you live. She leaves the cabinets open. This is the weirdest thing,
I know
guys.
how you live. You don't flush any toilets because you want to save a couple pennies on the water bill.
So we both have our little things, but you gotta admit, what's weirder is leaving cabinets open.
That's weirder than peeing in the toilet and not flushing it because you want to save on your water bill.
I looked it up, and every time you do not flush a toilet...
It's less than a penny.
No...
Less than a penny.
Okay, and you add that up, I'm going pee, 8, 9, 10 times a day? That's probably 2 pennies. I'm sorry that I'm 2 pennies richer than you are.
So you're saving 60 cents a month?
Okay, great. Let's do the math.
I just did in my head. 2 pennies for 30 days is 60 cents.
Okay, exactly. So 0.60.
I will give you 60 cents to start flushing the toilet.
Well, I have good news for you. I'm going to need more than 60 cents, okay? Because you do 60 cents a month times 12. You guys are going to want to see this. Boom. That's $7.20 a year.
I'll give it to you.
Okay, great. How many years are you going to live? How many years? Let's just say 100, right? Let's just say 100 times 100. Guys, $720 that you are saving in your entire lifespan by not flushing the toilet after you go to the bathroom.
I mean, this is ridiculous.
Okay, you know what else is ridiculous?
What?
You leaving the cabinets open.
That one, okay, I don't have an argument on that one. You're right. I should close the cabinets. My mom has told me this my whole life.
Okay, you know what else is ridiculous?
What?
You drinking out of my water bottle.
I will happily let you drink out of my water bottle.
I won't let you drink out of mine.
You know what's ridiculous?
What?
You not putting any of your dishes away. They all sit on the sink and get moldy and disgusting.
Okay, you know what else is ridiculous?
What?
We're just using this as an entire rant episode.
Come on. Give it to me. You don't have anything.
Me having 2 bathrooms, but you still love to use my bathroom, the one that I don't flush my toilet in. I literally have 2 bathrooms. 2 sinks, 2 showers,
You want
2
to know
mirrors.
what's ridiculous?
Tell me.
The giant mountain of clothing that sits on your bedroom floor at any given moment, and you never have any clean underwear because you don't do your own laundry. So this is why we don't live together yet. But we're getting there. Do you have nothing to say?
Trying to think about something else that I can target towards
Right. You don't have anything.
Well, there's got to be one more thing, right?
All I'm saying is, at least you don't go around talking bad about me and saying that's just what we do in relationships and then forcing me to buy your clothes because you think that I have money.
See, here's the good news. Here is the very, very good news. That I am sitting here really trying to jog my brain about all the bad things that Sarah does. And after everything I just said, I'm actually struggling. I don't have anything else. Yeah, she does those things. Yeah, it's pretty annoying.
But here's the thing about living with the person is I think you have to make sacrifices. Every person lives in a different way. So it's like you have to...
Oh, you know what else is ridiculous?
What?
When you get on my bed with dirty outside clothes.
I've gotten better about that.
If you're a germaphobe, then this is for you. Listen, I will never go on an airplane and then get into my bed afterwards. I have to shower. I will never go to the gym, and I will never wear my outside clothes.
But it's not just the airplane or gym. Like, those are valid takes. But you can't even walk outside and then sit on your couch.
That, if I don't touch anything outside, then that's true. Or then that's not true. But the big thing, every single time, and I got this from my dad, every single time that I touch a door handle, I always use my shirt.
Yeah, he doesn't use his hand.
I never touch a bare door handle. And like, guys, if you ever hang out with me, you will notice.
It's true. He does. And if he's with me, he's like, open the door. Because he knows I'll touch the door. And he doesn't want to touch it.
Yep. And the problem is that Sarah will not wash her hands after doing it. So then the germs are just spreading onto me. And she's like touching my face. I'm like, germs!
Germs!
Jeez.
But the truth is, when you live with a person, you have to make sacrifices on both sides. Like, one, you have to accommodate to how another person lives. Like, you have to, like, be okay with some of the differences that they have. But you also have to be willing to, like, change some of your ways for them. Like, be okay with some of the things that they do, and they should be okay with some of the things you do. But if there are things that they're not okay with, like leaving the cabinets open, then you gotta train yourself, okay, I'm gonna start closing the cabinets.
Yep.
In all seriousness, though, like, I'm very excited to live with you. Our plan is to live, I have a year-long lease, and once my lease is up, then we want to live together after that. And
That's
I'm
the game plan.
very excited for that.
Okay, I know we're kind of jumping around a little bit, and I apologize, but we're talking about trust. And studies show that you can tell who someone truly is by their Instagram Explore page.
What studies are you looking at?
I kind of made the study up, but it's true. I swear. Pull out your Instagram Explore page right now.
What, you think it's going to be filled with a bunch of, like, boys in the gym?
If it is, then I know that you're cheating on me. Guys, get an up-close shot on this, because this is just the absolute truth. Scroll through a girl's Explore page. I promise, whatever you see, that's who she is as a person. Break it down for me.
We've got videos of Sabrina Carpenter doing her Juno positions.
Yes, and do you love Sabrina Carpenter?
Yeah, here's another one of her.
You clearly love her music.
So I do love her. Sydney Sweeney. We've got more Sabrina. Here's another Sabrina. Here's Olivia.
All right.
Olivia Rodrigo.
She clearly like pop stars. What else is there?
We have Sex in the City, of course. I always have Sex in the City on my Explore page.
That's my point exactly.
What?
I know exactly who you are just off your Instagram Explore page. I know who Sarah Coomer is. You like Sex in the City. You like Sabrina Carpenter. You like pop stars. You like TV shows. Now watch. Watch this. I have no clue what's on my Explore page, but I'm telling you right now, if you open up your man's Explore page and you see women on there, red flag. Red flag. All right, let's open this up. Here we go. Boom. Let's get a close-up shot of this.
Oh my gosh, so many watches.
We got watches galore right here. We have a beautiful Patek Philippe. We have a Rolex, another Rolex. We have a guy and a girl kissing. We have some gambling. We have more watches and more watches. Like, there is not one girl on my entire Explore page because I love watches.
And you love your girlfriend.
Yes. So my studies are correct.
They feel pretty spot on.
Exactly. My study is true.
It feels pretty accurate.
Feels pretty accurate. Anyways, we are coming to an end of our episode, but we will never forget the
Dating Diner Hotline. Yeah.
Have you noticed that we added a jingle? Pretty cool, right? All right, let's bring in the Dating Diner Hotline.
Oh, yeah.
Booyah. If you don't know what the Dating Diner Hotline is, we're going to be talking to some of you. So please subscribe to our Patreon, patreon.com/Dating Diner Podcast. And we are going to be literally just giving you all a quick ring, 5-10 minutes. You can tell us anything that you want. If you want to talk about some of your drama, your relationships, couples, cheating, anything, if you want us to help you rizz up your crush, we will do it on
The Dating Diner Hotline.
Bingo. All right, let's call our Patreon subscriber.
Hello, who is this?
This is Chelsea.
Oh, hello, Chelsea.
Hello, Chelsea. Welcome to the Dating Diner Hotline.
Hi.
How is it going? What's going on with you?
Okay, so I just started dating this guy, and we've been out a couple times. And the last time we went out, we went and got dinner with his friends. And since then, he's been, talking about meeting my friends, which is, great. But the only problem is, I've recently hooked up with one of my guy friends, but I didn't really, mention it to him. And now I don't know if they're going to meet, then I should warn him, or just, keep it under wraps, not mention it.
No. You have got yourself in a world of hurt, Chelsea.
I've gotten myself in trouble.
Okay. Personally, I think you should not say something to the guy who's meeting your friends. And let me tell you why. Do you know yet for sure if you want to pursue things with either person?
No.
Okay, no. Okay, this is why. Because right now, you're not committed to anybody right now. Your options are open. You're not dating either one of them. I don't assume that the friend that you hooked up with is going to go to this guy and just blatantly tell him to his face, yeah, we just hooked up.
Right, hopefully not.
So I feel like there's no reason that this guy that you have been on a date with needs to know as of right now. What do you think, Parker?
That's what I'm thinking.
I agree. It's kind of funny. We had a scenario like this the other day with our own friends, and it's a difficult battle. It is, but I don't think you have to tell them. You can keep it on the down low. They do not need to know. But I think eventually, I do think this, and this is my final thought, if you end up actually dating that guy and things go really well, then you should be honest.
He should know, because you'll continue to be friends with that other guy. He should know your history.
Exactly. First date, second date, there's no need.
Okay, that's what I'm thinking.
That's
what I'm hoping.
Well, we're all on the same page here on the Dating Diner Hotline then.
Oh my God, thank God.
Goodness,
There we
I
go.
love it. Well, thank you for calling in, Chelsea.
Thank you.
All right. Of course. Bye.
Goodbye.
Bye.
That's a pretty tricky scenario, but I feel like there's no reason. He doesn't need to know.
He doesn't need to know yet.
Not yet.
I agree. Ooh, geez, yeah. Well, we have got some really great stories to share with you on the next episode of the Dating Diner Podcast. So be sure to subscribe, like, double tap, do whatever you do, and thanks so much for being here, guys.
We heart you.
We heart you, and we will see you next time.